Hi everyone, and welcome to the I'm a Celebrity reaction video part 2. This week on I'm a Celebrity, it's been a bit more interesting. There's been a few more, not conflicts, but awkward disputes, let's say. So for example, the camp leader was nominated a few nights ago, and Jordan got camp leader. Then he assigned the job of washing up to Shane. Then there was a little dispute between AJ and Shane about the washing up and how Shane had to wash up the pots before AJ could heat the hot water, but then Shane needed the hot water to then wash up the pots and pans. So yeah, there's a little bit of tension going on there. Also last night, I don't know if you noticed, but AJ wasn't very happy because Shane kind of said, right, who's washing up, and then threw his pan on the floor after he'd eaten his food. So a little bit of tension there. I did find a study that kind of explained the relationship between chores and family conflict. I know it's not necessarily a family, but they are living together. So it kind of makes a bit more sense. It does make sense. You can make inferences from it. And it kind of suggested that the involvement in chores can result in work-family conflict, and it can be prevalent in men and women. So there's no difference between men and women on the conflict associated with chores and having to do chores. However, the way women manage their response to that conflict is different to how men manage it. So, for example, if you look at Shane and AJ, they're quite physical in the fact that they're angry and they're making it obvious that they're annoyed with each other, and they don't mind saying, "Oh, can you do this?" or "Why did you do that for?" and stuff like that, and they'll make a deliberate attempt to say that they are annoyed with something. Whereas if you saw Giovanna, and Vernon, Vernon was trying to say, "Oh, who's cooking?" Because they were waiting for their food, and G kind of walked in on Vernon, then saying, "That's quite a lot of oil in that pan," and it was G's job, so that affected her because obviously she was responsible for it, and Vernon was telling her she was kind of doing it wrong, and her way of dealing with that conflict was to just stand there and kind of just stand there, take a moment, and then breathe through it and not mention anything. As we know of, it could have been mentioned off camera, but that's what we saw on camera. I also found another study involving leadership styles. I feel like Jordan wasn't the best leader. He kind of took it as a little bit of a holiday, a little bit of a break away from doing chores. And as much as he'd say, "Oh yeah, well, this is really weird for me because I usually help with chores," he didn't then go and implicate his leadership style to kind of motivate people to do their job, to increase job performance, and to reduce deviant workplace performance. So that could be a reason why there was a little bit of conflict, because Jordan wasn't so good at initiating his role as leader. But we have different leaders this week. G is leader, I believe. And it could be interesting again because there is a little bit of a food shortage at the moment because of the amount of stars. It might get a little bit tense again, and also we're voting people to stay soon, so we'll be seeing some people leave, and it could mean that there is more tension within camp. So we'll see what next week brings. Bye.